welcome to another episode of Direct to Review. This is your host, Trevor, today.
Oh boy, Trevor today. Welcome, Trevor today.
Hello, Trevor.
I don't know
today.
Trevor today, but I do know Trevor Thomas.
Leonard always makes fun of me.
If you
Leonard's a
didn't
bully.
frick it up as much as you do.
You know what? I freak it up because I'm nervous that you're going to make fun of me.
Fun of him.
Okay, Leonard?
There's so much
Be a
like
nice
taking
person.
Don't be
my
afraid.
confidence and just squashing it with your thumb.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Wow.
That's what
You
I
build me
like
up.
to do.
Build me up.
No, I build you up so I can break you down.
Wow.
Rude.
All right. Well, welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a special thing. We're going to be talking about a documentary.
Yeah, because I was just super sick and I didn't want to do anything for a Monday.
I think Leonard just wanted to watch this movie.
I just want to watch this movie and die.
Hashtag duck talk.
So this special episode, our doc talk today.
Oh yeah, and
Director review
Celeste is
doc
here.
talk.
She's all get it out for the
I'm
holidays.
here for this.
She is ready
She
to
got
talk about
Baymax with a holiday hat on.
voyeurism.
We're going to be
best
politically
friends.
correct. She's wearing a holiday hat with Mickey Mouse ears.
She's wearing a
With my-
non-denominational hat.
This hat has
I'm
no
wearing my hat of Mickeyism. Excuse
Mickeyism.
me.
Mickeyism.
That's
Furry
right.
It's very
Mickeyism.
strong in
Oh,
my
Lord.
house.
Yeah, that's true. It is. It's everywhere.
Mickeyism is very strong throughout my house.
Oh my God, my watch won't
Today
stop.
is the first day of winter, guys.
It is.
It is, according
It
to
was really cold last night, so
was.
it was the
it's
beginning of
fitting.
winter solstice, which was at 8:28 a.m. here in the Pacific time zone.
What a nerd, man. Why do you know that?
Because I work in news.
I'm sorry.
All right, and speaking of news, we are going to be talking about a Voyeur,
Oh, yeah.
a Netflix documentary, brand new, just came out not too long ago. I think it actually just came out really soon, like just a little bit ago. December
Really?
1st.
New? What?
December
Is that
1st.
new?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All right, so this is about a
Let's
journey,
talk about what it's really about. What you think is about.
and then what it is about.
Yeah. So what you think it is about a man who would watch people from this motel
Yeah,
that he purchased.
He claims, Gerald Foos claims that he bought a hotel in Colorado, and he built an observatory where he would watch people in their rooms, and he would actually like make notes, watch them have sex, watch them just do normal
The
things,
human stuff.
murder, even murder.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're
It's
saying
that
what
even-
he claims, okay? But the true story is about a journalist, or as they call him in this description, journalism icon, Gay Talese.
He
who-
wrote Frank Sinatra Has a Cold, which
Is that
I
an
had
article?
to read in college.
I'm not gonna
Did
lie.
Anyone else?
I have never read anything by Gay Talese.
Really?
I was not like, oh my God.
At least I didn't know if I did. Maybe I have.
He's a journalist, but he's not your conventional journalist.
Right. He's an investigative journalist who is both. He's sensational. He's a sensational journalist.
Yes.
And if he would never listen to this, but if he did listen to this, he'd punch the living crap out of me.
He
'Cause
does it
that's-
for the shock value.
He does, because he wrote a book about sex and orgies and freaking
Living amongst a nude colony.
a nudist colony where they had sex with each other, and he joined in, and yeah, that's how they start out the documentary. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about Gay Talese, who's finally reporting on the story of Gerald Foos, who contacted him back in the 80s,
Yeah.
I
A
believe,
30-year lead.
and who took him to the hotel, showed him different things, and let him
His little vent
observe.
space that he built.
Which, by the way, listen, I'm just going to say this because I want to get it out of the way. As someone who's been in journalism now for 10 plus years, I would never do anything that's immediately that I know that is illegal, and say that I had the moral obligation to
Then
do
you
it.
didn't want the story that bad.
Well, here's the
Then
thing:
you're
no
not a
story,
journalist.
no story is worth giving up your ethics. Like that's my biggest problem right off the bat with Gay Talese is that okay, first that didn't matter about the whole nudist colony. Well, that's not against your ethics. That's experiencing something from someone's perspective. But he went to this hotel and then spied on people.
He did it? I didn't.
He
I missed that.
actually did it.
Okay.
And it's like, hold up, wait a minute, that's
He
illegal.
saw oral sex.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait.
So is it illegal to look at people?
Well, when you rent them a room and then you're spying on them,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's voyeurism. That is illegal. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
So
The more you know.
I believe it is.
Okay,
We
but
can
like
look
if
it
they were
up.
like
We
in
can
a,
look it
if
up.
someone's sitting in like a public like library and you were like
No,
we're
no,
in the
no,
vents
see,
of a library and you look
this
down.
This is the whole thing. Like
Is it
at least
the
in
private
journalism,
versus
right?
public
So
space?
when you're in public, you have
A hotel
no
is
rights.
public though.
No, it's not. It's private property.
Oh, I see.
So when you're in public, you have no rights to privacy at that point because you have an expressed understanding that you're in public, that you have no right to say, I'm in my private space. No, you're not. I can't come in and like touch you because that's your private space. But I can take a picture of you because this is public. My kindness, I could say, listen, I can blur out your face.
Your foes.
Your foes.
Your Gerald
But
foes.
when you rent a room and it's understood that you are
It's
going
understood though. Do you ever sign anything when you go into a room?
No, because this is the thing. It's a private property. Technically, the curator has the rights to do whatever they want on their property. But when you're paying money and there's nothing saying, hey, we're going to spy on you.
Yeah, if they,
Are you
maybe he made
okay?
him sign something that's
Right.
like it's small fine prints that have a spot on you.
Exactly. Since you're not doing that.
In the United States, it is video voyeurism is an offense in 9 states, and it can make you a sex offender.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That makes
Well, that's
sense.
video
So
voyeurism.
that's video voyeurism.
But I guess
It's related to invasion of privacy laws.
there you go.
Okay.
That's the
So-
thing. Like you have an understanding that you have a private place to be. Like you're paying for this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm
So
like
you're not expecting someone to be watching you
exactly.
in your safe space.
Exactly. And just right off the bat I had a problem with Gay Talese for that reason. Because I didn't understand why you would just say, "Yeah, I'll totally go and watch these people with you." I mean, I can understand telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
You tell his story of doing this, not your story of your red tie going down the air vent and almost touching the back head of the woman giving oral sex in a private room. Like, okay, this is
See, I missed that.
Messed up.
That part was him, but that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, beyond that
But
point,
do you feel this strongly because you are in journalism?
I think that honestly
I
is
feel
the
like
reason.
Trevor and I don't feel as strongly about this because
I'm
we
sure.
don't really care.
Honestly, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't want anybody spying on me, so I would never spy on someone. But it's interesting, like that he actually kept stats on all this stuff, and like that.
Well, that's
Like it's kind of just like, okay, what do people
Full
do in a hotel room?
disclosure, I totally would.
Like, if it,
oh,
like,
I know you would. That's not
I
a surprise.
have a bad stalking problem, guys. One time I found out a guy's name and where he went to school and everything. I didn't even know his name initially.
Oh boy.
I just knew he was on a team.
Moving
of
on.
I think everybody a little bit has that kind of like. They
Well, with the
Love
internet,
it.
heck yeah.
yeah.
Especially the internet. You're like, I bet you I could find you that person.
I could find the person you're looking for.
But anyways, so obviously, he's trying to tell the story of Gerald Foos, who contacted him like in the 80s about his hotel where he says that he apparently spies on people. But it doesn't go exactly as planned. This documentary takes a big turn when it turns out that Gerald isn't telling the full truth. The full truth. He's not lying. He's just not telling the full truth.
Okay, so I'm confused where his notes begin at the certain time.
Right.
And
It starts in
66.
66.
And
Yeah.
the
1966.
bill of sale wasn't until a couple
69.
years later.
I initially thought right away was, okay, the guy, he sold it, but he still has access to it, which later on in the documentary happens again
Yeah,
when he
that did
sells it
happen.
later.
Yeah.
And then he still has access to it. I'm like, why wouldn't he still have
'Cause
access to it?
here's-
Then
so
a lot
here's
of
the-
people buy things, put the money up, someone else puts their name on it.
So this is
They
what
partners.
they say happens is that he had a friend who was the actual voyeur, who actually built that walkway and everything.
I thought they built it together.
Well, they may have built it together, but he hadn't owned it in 66
That's
and
why he says the
69.
voyeur all the time. Maybe
Right,
referring to
he's
his friend.
referring to his friend who was the one that actually was the voyeur. And he was a voyeur as well. He had access to it all the time, but he didn't own it during the times that he claimed that he owned it. And he also claimed there was a murder there, and there were some discrepancies with that. They never said it didn't happen. They just said there were some discrepancies.
But they did see that a murder had happened like 2 miles down. That
At a
was
different
exactly
motel.
what he said.
Which worries me that he did it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, did he do the murder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand normally we don't like to like give away the ending, but this is a documentary. Listen, you're just going to find this out anyways because you're going to look up the fact that Gay Talese had a book for a very short period of time called, what was it? The Voyeurs something. The Voyeurs Hotel or
Can
something
you
like
not get the book anymore?
that. I no, maybe you can still get the book.
Let me see what the
Yeah,
book
take a
is.
look and see if you can get the book. But that he came out and like disowned it immediately and then owned it again because he acted too rashly, which this man is in his 80s. Of course, he got upset about
Yeah, it's called the Voyeur's Motel.
the Voyeurs Motel. So,
72% of people like this book on Goodreads.
I mean, I want to give it a read. I want to see the
I need
way.
to read books again. I haven't read a book in like
Right?
a
I haven't
year.
read a book in a really long time.
I think the last book I read was
We're getting off track.
I know. It's all right. Just let it happen naturally. Don't talk about it. It's like the sun. Don't look at it. You gotta let tangents happen. The Mars. What's that Mars book that came out as a movie?
The one with
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mars. What's
Red
that? called?
Planet? I don't
No.
No.
what
is
the movie
it
that came out like a year ago?
called? What is it called? I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Leonard's sister read that book and she said it was hilarious.
It was way better than the movie. The movie is good, but
Martian?
The Martian.
The Martian.
That was a good book.
Was it a good
That was the
book?
last one I read.
Okay.
Fine, we'll go back to the Voyeur.
Yeah, I would
Gosh.
like to talk about the Voyeur because there's a lot of things here that I feel like we need to talk about. Specifically, I want to know your guys' opinion of the approach of both Talese and Foos. I noticed that Foos was kind of like,
He was a weirdo.
he was so in love with Gay.
Gay was in love with himself.
Gay was in love with himself. Yeah,
That's why he was
This
so
was a
mad.
very
Because he was in,
one-sided friendship.
yeah, it was because Foos was like making his wife really try and care about this whole thing, but you could tell she didn't.
yeah.
And that poor
Can
woman
we
just
talk
didn't
about
She had to
care.
live
their
through it.
relationship? I loved their relationship.
She was, yeah.
She loved the man
She
She
loved
loved
him
him.
so
and all
much.
his faults.
And
Which he had many.
Oh yeah, he did. Which
But she was so fun about it. Like at one point he was like, "They gonna think I'm a creep or something
She's
like
like,
that,"
"You
and she was like, "You are."
that's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
she
if letting
knows.
Celeste
It's
on
like,
a
it's not
motel,
like she's like
Celeste would boy
surprised.
on people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you are a creep.
The
I
thing
know.
is that I would probably be very much implicated in everything she did. So
I have to take
So-
you along with me.
Gerald, yeah, I don't get what his motivation was to want this story. Like, I mean, obviously, probably not all the stories were his. Probably some
Yeah.
of them were the
Well,
other guys.
yeah,
It was like he had reached out to Gay, and so he wanted the story to be told, but then he was like, "Oh, I'm getting a lot of publicity for this," and it's like, yeah, did you not think that was gonna happen?
holy crap! Hey guys, I just clicked on something.
What happened?
They're making a movie called The Voyeurs Motel.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
It's been in production since December 23rd, 2016, though.
Oh,
Hey, I'll play a young.
Sam Mendes.
Gerald.
is
Sam
directing it.
Mendes. He did. You see now I'm getting off on a tangent. He just did
No,
Baby
he just did
Driver,
Baby Driver, which was
Spectre,
apparently
King Lear, Shrek the Musical. Oh, it's gonna fail. Skyfall. Oh, he does a lot of thrillers, so that's good. Would you stop messing
No,
up
my
your
mic
mic?
started falling.
Oh, okay.
Well,
it's
Leonard, now that
falling.
you're on a tangent,
So-
can we please get back?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys.
Gosh, Leonard, I just want to talk about the Voyeur.
Okay, so I think like his approach to their relationship was a little weird because I felt like Gay tried so hard to get him to like feel like, hey, this is gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a big deal, guy. Like you don't understand. Like it's gonna be a big deal.
He
Can
hyped
we
it up
talk
for sure.
about, like how excited he was that he got a cover on a magazine.
Oh my god, he was like, this isn't just some rag. This is the New Yorker. It's a fucking New Yorker. It's like
Magazines
No
are
one
dying,
cares.
bro.
Gay, let me tell you,
you're
Prince
80
is dead.
freaking some years old and you're really excited about this, but you really shouldn't.
Maybe 40 years ago, it would have been cool.
Even like 20 years ago.
Who reads magazines now?
Yeah, nobody. I don't even read. Who
Yeah.
even reads? Everyone listens to
I read
podcasts.
my Twitter feed.
You read the Twitter
Is
feed.
the Twitter
I'm
feed.
pretty sure the last book I quote unquote
If he would have been the
read
top on
was
Reddit,
audio.
if top story on Reddit, then he's
Yeah,
then he's
yeah.
got something.
You're really struggling over that. aren't
I'm
you?
holding it because it started to fall.
Well, why don't you fix it?
I
Because
tried fixing it.
And,
Do you
and
need help?
Oh, and it's gone.
And it's lost. I lost it.
Okay. Okay, technical difficulties, everybody. It's because he decided to move his mic.
I didn't touch it. It just started falling.
Yep. So it's just going to be a moment, everyone.
All right, I'm good to go. I think because we're moving the chair around. All right, we're going to get sued.
Oh, shit. That was less than 15 seconds.
Okay. It was like 12.5.
There you go. It's perfect timing.
And it was our rendition of it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
way
There
off
were,
key.
there were no keys that were there.
Leonard rendition.
Keys-
Exactly.
The key did not exist.
The key did not exist. Anyways. So,
exist.
so I don't really call this whole book of journalism in any which way. I feel like it was shock journalism. I felt like you could tell this story 1,000 different ways and then easier than how Gay went about it. I also feel like he waited a really freaking long time to tell this story.
They wanted to wait for the statutes of limitation to wear out.
But he also found out that there is no such thing as that wearing out because of the crimes that he committed.
It's fine.
And
They're
then
fine.
also, if
they're
he-
so old at this point. Like if they prosecuted
Right.
them, that
It'd be a long process.
yeah.
And also, it's almost impossible to figure out who exactly was there during that time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't really need to worry about it one way or another. But the other thing is like, I want to go back to this murder because I'm a little concerned that Gerald Foos killed somebody or is implicated somehow in killing somebody because even
Maybe
his
that might be his friend, the other voyeur, killed
Well,
him.
here's the thing. Even in his own story, he
was the cause.
of a murder.
So this is the story. The story was there was a drug dealer who was selling drugs to the kids. So he was like, I didn't like that. So I went and I took the drugs and I got rid of them. I flushed them down the toilet. The drug dealer saw. He got mad. He choked
he
out.
came back and he couldn't find the drugs
Yeah.
and he blamed his girlfriend.
And he choked her to death.
Yeah, and he claimed to have seen her body and seen her breathing, but in reality, she was actually dead.
And then
I saw
the
her chest
cleaning
moving.
lady found her dead.
Correct. Now, here's the thing. So, when they do the research, they find that someone was murdered in that town, and it was she was strangled to death, and she was found in a motel, and the cleaning lady found her, but it was not at that motel. It was 2 miles down the street, and that tells me that Gay killed somebody 2 miles down the street. Not Gay. Foos killed somebody down the street. Because, first off, he had exact details. He knew where the drugs were hiding.
But he
these were
so many people. I feel like he could have easily
Did
fabricated it.
Did he have multiple spying locations? That
Maybe.
Were not
Maybe
just
there
this
was
one
just
hotel.
one.
Was the motel down the street of Voyeur Motel as well? Was there a group of motels?
Maybe there was a group of voyeurs that owned motels.
That's a story right there.
Voyeur.
I feel like that's something that Gay should have been like, hold up, this is a little weird. Let's find out. Let's find out who owned that other hotel. What's going to happen next?
As
I thought it was
Gabe
gonna-
pointed out, he was running out of time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's going to die eventually because they're all so freaking old. But that's why you don't wait 30 plus years to tell a story.
When he was talking with the fact checker from the New Yorker, and they were started talking about, there's this other murder that they found down the street. I thought they were gonna. I thought the documentary was gonna branch off and talk about how did he know about this murder, and then I thought it was gonna be he murdered.
Honestly,
him.
this entire documentary was about Gay and how much in love he was with himself and how he basically killed his own story to bring it back to life. And what really came out of it was nothing.
Yeah. It was,
Because no one reads books.
And everyone hated the book.
The documentary should
Because-
be called The Journalist.
And I'm going to say, now, mind you, I love old people. I love them. Anytime I
They're
get to
stuck in
talk
their
to
ways.
them. But when they get frustrated or scared or upset, they tend to just get angry. And that's exactly what he did. He thought that the Washington Post so this is how it all started. A reporter from the Washington Post was like, hey, these are all the discrepancies that we found. Can you still stand behind what Gerald Foos is saying? Rather than saying, hey, you know what, let me take a look at this. Obviously, you're just throwing this at me. I can't give you a yes or no.
Or my first reaction was, I'm literally just writing what he gave me in his notes.
These are his discrepancies, and we've done some research, but we may have not verified every single bit of data that he should have, honestly.
Yeah, he really
because it
should
was
have.
30-some years.
Like, he's a journalist. He started
knows
this
that.
when he was 50. He was younger then.
Also, in the actual documentary, he talks about how if you don't have more than one source, then your story's dead. Well, he didn't have more than one source.
Yeah.
He kind of said that his wife, that Foos's wife, was the other source, but that's not good enough, in my opinion. You know, you needed somebody else. You needed someone who maybe saw him doing this, or a friend that knew he was doing something like that, something to corroborate everything that he was saying. And that is where he messed up. He wasn't being a journalist. He wasn't being a good journalist, at least.
I think he got caught up in the story, and he was probably interested in voyeurism himself, and maybe he, obviously he partaked in it. So maybe there was
Partaked?
He partook.
He partaked in
Maybe
this.
there was this underlying passion that kind of drove him to ignore those, things, those red flags.
Well, okay, fine. You can have a passion, and you can ignore certain things, and if your morals and your ethics are of no big deal to you, then fine, you can just completely ignore it. Whatever. But here's the thing. When someone presents information to you and you don't know anything about it, the last thing you should ever say is, well, my book is down the toilet. How can I stand behind it when none of this is true? You don't know
you
that
do.
It was
You don't
very,
know if it was true.
It was like kind of a childish thing to do. Like, okay, and just back off real quick and
Right.
cross your arms and pout.
But I think he was also an older man who didn't want his career to end this way.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, it's over. It's done. Our careers are dead. I'm like, no. I mean, you made it a bigger deal than it needed to be, first off.
He was a drama queen for sure.
He was.
Even there was a scene with the documentary crew when they asked him questions they asked
Oh,
earlier.
Oh my
And he made a big old
God.
hissy fit about it. I was like, dude.
It's like, gang,
It's like-
calm down.
Because, okay, first off, anybody who's ever made a documentary, anybody who's ever watched a documentary knows two things. One, you're going to have an actual interview with a person. And that interview with the person, especially if it's like a journalistic documentary, you're going to have the interview, and that's where you're going to be talking to the camera, and the crew is going to ask you a question. This is what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you, so you were a voyeur. Tell me, how do you think Gay is handling all of this? So then he's going to talk to the camera. He's going to tell you what he thinks. But then Gay and him are together. So you're going to feed him this line because you want to see his reaction, his change while Gay is there. Because that gives you an insight into somebody. That really does. Because it's not about a trick. It's not about anything like that. It's honestly just about getting the reaction at the time. But what he ended up doing was like, no, that's a trick. That's a trick. You're trying to trick him. You ask him this question when I'm not here, and then you ask it again because you're trying to feed him an answer. You're trying to change his answer, trying to make him look bad. No, that's not anything of what he was doing. But this is a man who's used to handling his own interviews. So the only thing he knows how to do is butt in with his own opinion. And he never let him actually answer the question. And at the end, even Gerald is like, that was a good question. Because it got... Honestly, I feel like the question was there just to make Gay angry. And just so you could see how he acts.
Gay is a control freak.
Yeah, I feel like if they would have just made this documentary even just about Gay and how he, him finding, okay, this is how Gay does a story. Rather than focusing, trying to make the focus the story.
I mean, honestly,
how
if he was such an icon, that'd been fantastic.
Yeah, right. But how he, finds a story, how he writes a story, how he starts the book, the whole process, even his life of how he keeps everything in that basement and stuff. I'm like, that's weird. He's weirdo himself.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
I kind of feel, and this is the thing, this documentary is literally called Voyeur. We're assuming that it's about Gerald Foos, but I feel like we're actually talking about Gay. He is the voyeur.
Yeah.
He's the one looking in on everyone's lives. He even says it himself. He goes, I'm a voyeur too. That's what I do. I go in and I experience and I look and I watch.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we become voyeurs.
exactly. I mean, that we are part of a voyeurism
Watching a documentary
culture.
is being a voyeur. It's like, okay. So
Everyone has that aspect of voyeurism in them because here's what you're going to do. You're going to watch a documentary about someone watching other people. Like, you can't think of how meta that is. Like,
or even nowadays with shitty television, all the freaking reality shows.
Oh my God,
That's
reality.
all voyeurism.
right there, that is the key to voyeurism.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly what voyeurism is. You're watching someone else's life while they don't know you're there. The only thing that these people
Or
know is that
pretending not
there's...
to.
Well, yeah. The only
They don't
thing
know that you personally are there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They just know
I mean,
cameras there.
You pretend like you're there in that room or whatever. But this was a good documentary. I'm not saying it was a bad documentary. I liked it. I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed because there was just so much that I just really wanted impact. Like, oh, I'm hitting my mic a lot.
Oh, what are you, Trevor? Come on.
Get it together, guys.
I really wanted more info on some things. Like, I want to know more about Gay, and I want to know more about Gerald and what's going on now after all of
I
this.
think Gerald should go on an episode of Hoarders, and so we can see all. I want to see how much all this stuff is worth. I want to know if it's has.
Oh, yeah, he
worth.
had like this crazy card collection,
Yeah.
crazy collections.
Yeah.
Because he was a collector. He's
an interesting dude, but he's weird for sure. But he was interesting.
Yeah. So I liked it. I personally did. I don't think I would call Gay in any way a journalist when it came to this story. I feel like this was his swan song, and it just didn't. The tune didn't go so well. It was a little off pitch.
I think reading the book would be interesting for sure. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it reads fine. I think it's probably going to read old. And when I say old, I mean it's going to read
Old
like
person.
a person who wrote in the 70s and 80s and not how we write now, which is a little bit more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to use words that I'm going to have to look up.
All the words.
So what do you think, Celeste?
I liked it. I find it weird to say, yes, I liked a documentary or I disliked a documentary because it's a documentary. Like,
It's historical. You
it's
can't
there
say
for
this was...
entertainment purposes, but it's really there for, I don't
To
know.
learn about a subject.
Information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
purposes.
information.
But I definitely think you can present something in a poor way.
Oh, you definitely can.
And you can hate a
There
documentary.
are bad documentaries.
I wish there was more information on like his day-to-day voyeurism, like like a crime show, on, like breaking it down. Like, what did he do? Like,
Right,
that would have
yeah.
been
Like,
interesting.
I thought it was cool when they were talking about his journal, and they would like all the little reenactments. I thought were really cool.
I love
The
their
stop
little
motion stuff.
their little model house because they
Right.
tore
That
down the manor. They tore it down, so they had to recreate everything with their
Exactly.
little.
I thought that was
figures.
really smart. That was a good job on
I'm like
the
some
film
artists
crew.
out there got work. Good
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was very good. I'd give it 3 Goldblums.
3 Goldblums.
3. I know that doesn't seem very high, but you have to understand a Goldblum is a big deal.
It is.
Goldblum is like 5 stars.
You gave El Camino
15
Christmas
stars.
0.
15 stars. I gave that 0 Goldblums. I didn't even get 1 star.
Man,
Got 0.
wow.
0. I got Tim Allen edgy.
I give it 0.08 bitcoins.
Bitcoins.
Okay, we're
How
going
does
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin work?
Well, to buy
I'm
1
confused.
Bitcoin, it's $15,000 US.
What?
So they have to sell it in segments up to 100 millionths of a Bitcoin.
Buy Litecoin.
By Litecoin?
Buy Bitcash.
Bitcash.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
So what's your...
Oh, sorry. My mind has been blown by what Bitcoin is worth.
Yeah.
Bitcoin
What
is-
the heck?
Why do you think those high schoolers can make millions off of it?
Shoot.
Think about how much he invested in Bitcoin.
It's crazy.
What?
Well, I think he probably invested when it was lower, not current.
There's a Bitcoin documentary on Netflix.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we watch the Bitcoin documentary, guys?
I guess we could, yeah.
Guys, I need to see this. I have so many questions.
You guys watch anything new lately?
We've been watching a lot of things, honestly.
Like what?
I've been wanting to watch Bright.
Oh yeah, I want to watch
Bright
that.
looks
Yeah.
Apparently,
good.
it's the worst movie ever made.
But
Oh.
has Will Smith in it. I mean, he made After Earth, and I watched that in theaters. Do you remember that movie?
I did not see that
travesty?
movie, but I hear things.
That was-
But Leonard also loves Will Smith. So.
I do.
I do. I love Wild Wild West. It's all,
Oh my God,
You
Wild
guys
Wild
are like the
West.
same person.
So good.
Wild Wild
Um,
West.
I watched this new Netflix original. I like that show from NBC called American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
And there's
yes.
the Netflix original called The Ultimate Beastmaster.
I've seen that.
so-
It's
Watch that.
so
It's
good.
awesome.
I love
Like
it.
all the different countries and everything. Yeah, it's freaking cool. Netflix is amazing.
I've been-
Netflix, sponsor us.
Yeah,
Right?
right? Come on, Netflix.
On YouTube, I've been watching a lot of videos of people playing Sims of their friends.
So they recreate their
So they recreate their friends
In
and they
the game
live
Sims.
out
Oh my
their friends'
God.
lives.
How do they know what their friend's doing? Do they document what their friend's doing?
Well, okay, so they
Or they
first call
roommates.
Gay Talese.
they call no George to come
Gerald?
to voy on them.
They call Gerald
What I
to
call him,
come
George?
check him out.
No, see,
Well,
they can't call Gerald anymore because he's in a wheelchair.
Is he in a
Yeah.
wheelchair?
Yeah.
That's sad.
so they can. No, he's not in a wheelchair. He's just
No, he just
old.
can't get
He
up.
just doesn't want to leave his house. He doesn't like going outside.
But call Gay, and then Gay will watch them, and then give you.
Well, they're like really good friends. You know, they know them well. So in Sims, they will do things that they're
do
like.
that about you.
That's pretty
Right?
cool. I like that.
I want to do it.
That's
so
interesting.
Bad.
We should do
Direct to
that.
review
Yeah.
Sims, guys.
Oh my god.
They're sitting around a table talking.
Yes.
Nobody listening.
Done.
Oh, I never gave my rating.
You know what?
Oh, yeah, what's
I'm
your
gonna
rating?
give it a V as in Voyeur. I liked it. It was good.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The V-
that was,
the
that
V
wasn't a
thing.
rating.
Okay, I'll give it a real
That was
rating.
a letter.
I give it a 3 dirty hotel rooms out of 5
Bedspreads.
baseball cards.
Okay, I don't know what that means. All right.
I never
cool.
know.
I never know what the ratings made here. I'm just here for them.
I watch
Everyone
it.
knows
It's a
that
good documentary.
Goldblums are amazing, so they should know.
According to Leonard.
According to me.
As per Leonard.
So that's like 15 stars, like you said. So I gave it 15 stars.
Yeah.
I mean,
You said it was
out of a
4 or 5
possible
stars.
10 Goldblums, though.
Oh, that's 50 Goldblums.
Hey,
I mean, stars.
no.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long day for all of us.
It's been a
Holidays
long
are coming.
week.
Christmas is on Monday.
Christmas is on Monday. Oh my god.
Taking some time off from work.
I feel like this holiday season was so busy. Maybe that was just me.
I think it was just, that's what happens when you get older. You just work until the holiday comes. And then
Right?
And then you're like-
You go
it's
right back to
Christmas,
work.
And then it's like, oh, well, I lived that.
Yeah.
No.
Now it's gone. And
Now
now
it's
it's another year. And where did the last year go?
I get a baby coming at the beginning of this new
You
year.
do.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Who let you have another child?
I don't know.
Well, you know, they don't let you have children. You can just have them.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
I know. It's like, okay, you go to the hospital, you have a baby. They're like, okay, you gotta be super. Like, check on the baby. They do all these tests on the baby,
And then they just hand it to you.
and then you get the fuck out of the hospital, and then you're on your own. You can do whatever you want with a kid. I mean, that sounds bad. No, but like
Yeah.
like not like that. Not anything bad,
All right,
but like
I'm gonna call
you're
Gay
gonna
and
take-
just tell him right now that in 30 years he needs to be alive so he can tell your story.
you're gonna be
whenever it is.
120 years old. No, but like it's on you. It's
Yeah.
that you gotta
This is
figure
your
it
thing
out.
now. Good
Yeah.
luck.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's
I don't like it when
Children really terrify Leonard. He like hasn't even held the baby before.
I'm gonna bring my
No.
infant son and
Yes.
make Leonard
No.
hold him.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
I said
Leonard
no.
You're coming
gets
over.
extremely uncomfortable around children.
Consent, Trevor.
It's
I'm gonna-
hilarious.
I'm gonna name him Leonard after Leonard.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Actually, one of Leonard's friends did name their son Leonard, and I'm like, oh, we need to set up a play date with the Leonards.
What? Who named their child Leonard?
Ray named his child Leonard.
Oh my god, that's right.
I can hear Fred from the next room.
That's our child.
If you can hold Fred, you can hold a baby.
Oh my god.
All
I
right.
can't even begin to think about children. I just want to go and rest now.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
You playing any games?
I've been playing a lot of VR games, actually.
Yeah. I didn't know you had a PSVR.
Well, it's new.
Oh.
So, yeah.
How
It
new?
was-
I've been here for the last 2 months, like
It
every
was
week.
literally just like given to him.
Yeah.
One of his friends was
Wasn't
just
using
like,
it, so
"Here
he
you
just gave it to
go."
me.
How is it? How do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah?
We've had so many people over.
It's like
trying
fun.
it.
Is it like fun little games?
Well, the ones
Like, it's
that I
not
have
like
are
in-
demos. See, that's
Yes.
because I don't want to
They're
pay.
made for them.
But at the same time, Skyrim,
Have you played Skyrim on there?
I want to.
Yeah. I want to
wanna
see how.
play
I think I want to see how.
Spider-Man.
I want to see how
Yeah.
like a big title does on it.
Yeah.
So when we buy Skyrim, I
He's
will.
looking at
let
me
you know.
because he keeps talking about it all the time,
'Cause
and
I'd
I'm
really-
like, "Not during Christmas, Leonard.
I'd really like to. I'd really like to buy
You're
it.
not getting Skyrim, by the way. I didn't get that
Dang,
for you.
Told you.
I got you other things you wanted
Gosh, Leonard.
because I'm a bad person, I guess.
That's why Leonard doesn't like to hold babies because he's the big baby in the room.
Exactly.
This is so true. He is
Exactly.
my child.
I've been playing some PUBG. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, PUBG, Public Enemy Battleground.
Nope, no.
Players Unknown Battleground.
There you go.
I know the acronym.
Public
but
Enemy
That sounds
number
like
one.
a thing.
That's a lot of fun. It's intense. I get scared because people will kill me.
By the way, Public Enemy number 1 would be Pinot.
Pinot. Let's make it the Pinot game.
Let's do it. The
Yeah.
Pinot game. What you playing, Pinot? How dare you say that in public? Public Enemy #1. Thank you.
Yep. All right.
You
Well,
played John Dillinger.
that's offensive.
You're offensive.
Your face. All right.
Let's do this. Let's end this. Let's end this.
Thanks for
travesty.
listening.
No.
Have a great holiday and New Year.
Yep. Any whatever religion or thing you.
Merry
I think
Christmas.
everyone celebrates New Year, right?
Happy Hanukkah.
Not everyone.
Which one? The Chinese New Year?
Some people-
yeah,
The
there's different New
Hmong
Years.
New
The
Year?
Hmong-
New Year.
Oh, when's Hmong New Year?
That's not for a while.
For a whole while.
Oh man,
But it'll come.
I
It
like
comes-
going there for the food.
Yeah.
If they do have
cool.
good food.
I'm hungry now.
Me
Me
too.
too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go eat.
Let's go eat dinner.
All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful whatever time of the day it is where you are. And remember, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and
Instagram.
also and Instagram, and
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, we don't ever use it, but go for it.
Hey, there's videos on there.
There's some.
Follow it just because.
We'll go live on
Why
YouTube
not?
sometime.
One day.
One day.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic night and day and weekend. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Doodles.
Check out the holiday special.
Don't do it.
Do it.
All right, bye.